Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Monday. My Monday's been pretty cool. I didn't go to work today because I just didn't really feel like it. I'm a fucking lazy bum. So I decided to stay home and do a beer review. Today we have North Coast Old Stock Ale. And this is the 2021. You see it's a limited release beer. I was lucky enough to be gifted some of this along with a couple other things that I won't be reviewing. But um, this might be my first North Coast beer, aside from the other one I was given, which was a red ale, which I wasn't really fond of, but I'll try to do a red ale review soon. I don't know exactly if this is just a regular ale, if it's a blonde or whatever. I couldn't see it anywhere on the box or anything, but I'm anxious to try it because it's a limited release. Now, the box did say that you're supposed to age it at least a year. It gets better when it's aged, and they said at least a year. But this is the 2021. I'm not going to fucking sit around. I don't have space to leave this anywhere for a year. So I'm just going to fucking drink it. You can see the cap here is not like the typical North Coast cap, which I have right here. You see it's white and it's got a little red logo on the top. This one's black and it's got that almost like a brass color on it. I think it's really cool. I do love bottle caps. This is a better one. I also got a new beer glass, which we'll be using today. Really cool. Also gifted to me along with the beer. So a nice little new set for me to test out in this review. Now let's crack it open. I'm pretty excited for this one because it's a limited release beer. I haven't had a lot of limited release beers before, but today's the day. Here we go. Now I learned that one of the reasons you may not get a lot of lace on your glasses is because you don't pour with a strong head or because there's a lot of residue left on the glass when you pour the beer in, and that residue can cause the head to break up more. Like if you put grease in your beer to break the head up, if there's residue left on the glass, it'll do the same thing. And you won't get a lot of head, you won't get a lot of lace. So maybe that's the problem I'm having, but I feel like I'm just not pouring aggressively enough to get a good head. But this is much darker than I anticipated. I really didn't know what to expect because the box didn't give a lot of an idea as to what it would look or taste like. But it's pretty dark. Not as orange as like a Blue Moon would be. It's pretty red actually. But not horribly ugly either. That doesn't even do it justice, really. Unfortunately. Yeah, pretty dark color. Pretty good smell. Just a good beer smell. It almost smells kind of Belgian-y. I know it's not a word, but if you know your Belgian beer, you know what I'm talking about. That sweet smell. Very light, very sweet, but you get a little bit of maltiness too. But anyways, let's get to it. This one's for Will. Pretty rich, a lot darker than I was expecting. It did say it was a little hoppy on the box. It's one of the few things it said. So I was expecting it to be like a paler ale. But this is pretty heavy shit. It's pretty damn good too. I'd put this right between like a regular ale and a brown ale. Like a red ale. It's not as red. It doesn't taste as red. It wasn't labeled as red. Like I said, it just said Old Stock Ale. So I guess it's just a regular ale. Hey guys, I just did a little research. I found out that this is actually classified as an old ale. It's like a subgenre of ale. And basically what that means is it's a darker kind of ale and it has to be at least 5% or higher. So obviously this is a darker ale. It is way above 5%, definitely an old ale. And the term old ale also applies to ales that are aged or need to be aged. And since they do recommend aging it, it is definitely an old ale. Pretty mellow. The little bit of head that I am getting is a little darker too. Got like a yellowish tinge to it. So a darker beer. But not a dark beer, I guess. Wow. I'm also almost getting hints of like chocolate or like coffee, which is really surprising because it doesn't look and wasn't advertised as a dark beer. And other than that, it doesn't really have dark beer characteristics. But I am getting a little bit of dark beer flavor. And I guess it is a little richer, like a good dark beer. Not like a Guinness, which is really light for a dark beer. Excuse me. This is pretty good. Yeah, this is way not what I was expecting. And it is an 11.2, definitely up there. I guess since it's a limited release, they're going to charge a lot for it anyways. I also found out that you can get a 4-pack of these for $13 at Total Wine. Not a bad deal. Something I would absolutely recommend. So they might as well make it stronger, you know, why not? And they did. And you can not quite taste it. It doesn't have that attack that like a high percentage beer sometimes can have. It's pretty mellow, really smooth. Honestly, I'm really a fan of it. I like it way more than I thought I was going to. Now, I will say, like I said, this was gifted to me. Thank you, John. If I had gone to the store looking for a beer, I don't think I would have grabbed this off the shelf. It just didn't have enough description on the box. Doesn't really give off the kind of vibe of something I would go to pick up, but this is something I would absolutely have again. I generally tend to like the darker beers better, and although it doesn't quite look it, it's almost like a caramely color, but it tastes like a good dark beer, and it's got that richness to it as well. I'm definitely a fan. Now, if this gets better with age, I can only imagine it just comes out really well. You know, if it's this good before being aged, I would totally consider buying a 4-pack of this and letting it sit for like a year or so. If it's going to make it that much better, why not? You know, I could find a quarter somewhere. I could cram it in a corner for a year under the sink, behind the toilet. I don't know. But I'm very pleased with this. If I had to give this a rating, I'd give it maybe an 8, or maybe even a 9. This is a really solid beer in my opinion. For what I go for a beer, they hit it out of the park. Seriously, North Coast really pulled out all the stops on this one. The other beer that I was gifted, the Red Ale, was a North Coast beer. I was not a fan of that one, to be honest with you. It was just too hoppy. I got a pack. I was given 2 packs of Red Ales. One was another brand I can't remember the name of, and one was the North Coast Red Ale. And they were like opposite ends of the beer spectrum. And so I was worried that North Coast just didn't know how to make a good ale, and I wasn't going to like this very much, but no, I like it all. Like I said, like an 8 or an 8 or a 9. If the price isn't too bad, I might even go out today and pick up some more of this. Like, this is a solid beer. Very good beer. So, I think that's all I got for this one. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any ideas for another beer you'd like to see me review, if you're wanting to try something out and don't know how you feel about it, let me know. I'll try it out for you. Leave me a comment. I hope you have a good rest of your Monday and a great week.